from Variety, and I'm very excited for this panel. As you know, we have an awesome group of ladies about to come down. So I'm going to introduce them. First, we have Mamrie Hart. Come on, man. Next, we have Hannah Hart. And last, but certainly not least, Grace Helbig.
That's like the closest I'll ever be to a debutante.
Yeah, we just had our shoes all that moment.
I'm so envious of these drinks. I did not get the memo.
Someone, what do you drink?
Can I have white wine?
White wine, please!
Oh.
That's just what I do.
She just shouts that into the ether.
We'll see if it works. We'll see. All right, so thank you so much for being here. This is so much fun to be at South by with you guys. Now, I have a feeling that most of this group knows this, but just in case they don't, let's start off, go all the way back. How did the three of you start working together?
You got that score?
Sorry, yeah, it's just in case you guys are, perving out. It's shorts under there.
Yeah!
How did we start working together? Mamrie and I met each other in New York City. We were on our first sketch comedy team together in 2008.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been like almost 9 years of friendship.
Oh.
We old,
girl, it's a preteen. Disgusting. And then Hannah and I met in 2010?
No.
11?
Yeah, maybe 2011, maybe 12.
Okay, I think it's 2011. I think the first video we uploaded was 2011.
Oh my god.
But don't fact check me.
I'm
There's
wrong.
no way you could possibly fact check
No,
that.
but we met shortly after I started my online anything, like started making videos, and Grace was one of the first people in that first group of people that I got to know in the online space. And then through Grace, I met Mamrie.
We met at Playlist Live when we were at, which is a YouTube convention in Orlando, where we went, Playlist Livers here. One person's been there. Where we were all at the pool, and it was like, hey, do you like Bloody Marys?
I like
Yes.
that.
Let's drink Bloody Marys.
We just all furrowed our brows at each other for
Yes.
5 minutes.
Something that's kind of crazy is that Mamrie's channel and show, You Deserve a Drink, which is amazing, obviously. And My Drunk Kitchen, completely,
So happy we don't have an applause meter.
completely unbeknownst to each other, launched the exact same month.
Yeah, same week, I think.
Same week.
Two hearts drinking and making puns on the internet. Like if we weren't destined to be friends.
And then I was there too.
So that's our story.
Well, I just want to say, thank you for the white wine, man.
Yes.
Cheers, guys. Give us cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Happy South by Southwest.
I love The Secret.
I love this. You can only do this in Austin, you guys. Only in Austin. Okay, so whoever wants to take this one, just what is Dirty 30 about?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Dirty 30 is about my character Kate is turning 30, and on kind of the eve of her birthday, she gets a letter that she wrote to her 16-year-old self that that was an assignment in high school that her teacher mails, and kind of sees that her life isn't where she thought it would be, and because of all those feels, as her generation would say, she allows her two best friends to throw her a classy house party, but of course that's an oxymoron. And so they have a kind of a wild night, turning 30, coming to terms with that shit, you know?
And I filled.
Could eat that shit.
Oh yeah, he said Allison can eat that shit.
Oh, yeah, she can eat that shit.
And I think it's great because it's kind of like, I think at the precipice of turning 30, a lot of people take that moment to look back at their lives and be like, okay, where am I? How am I doing? Et cetera, et cetera. And I kind of think that all three of us as kind of really driven people, also really neurotic people, are kind of constantly in that mode. So when I turned 30, I was like, okay, 30, because I'm always looking back at my entire life, reflecting on where I am now and where I want to be.
And art imitates life because last November, Mamrie and I got to throw Hannah's 30th birthday party for her in real life.
don't like sweets, so they got me a giant pizza cake, a pizza pie.
The 30 was written in pepperonis.
It was huge. A car had to drive it in.
That's true.
Any crazy stories from that night that you care to share in front of all your closest friends here?
We had everyone sign NDAs on the way in. Too many fucking vloggers we're friends with. To be
No
like,
phones allowed.
yeah, we didn't have people record it except like Snapchat.
Except for this one hilarious thing that you later edited. Remember that little like 10-second video?
Oh yeah, when we did a shot ski and Mamrie put some weird alcohol in there that we weren't ready for.
It's called moonshine, okay? And I'm a person who really respects my roots and heritage, which is bumfuck North Carolina.
That's a great
So yeah, it was a really good night. Yeah.
Well, back to Dirty 30.
Yes.
What was it like for the three of you to get back together and do another movie?
It's so funny because we hang out like every day.
I guess in this capacity, you know, to be filming a film
I
together.
think it was really fun. It felt like a reunion of sorts, but this time, because we had done it once, the first time we were all just sort of wide-eyed wondering when are we going to look like not professionals, and we have to make sure that everyone thinks that we're professionals. And this time around, we really, you know, kind of knew what we were doing and knew we were going to have a really fun time and knew like how to work with each other, and we got to bring in a lot more of our friends to the mix, which also made it a lot of fun because Camp Dakota had a very small ensemble, and so this was a lot of fun. It was an actual party on set every day.
Yeah, seeing Rhett and Link come in and then what they did with their characters was brilliant, truly, I think. For those of you, if you haven't seen it, Dirty 30. Oh, which actually is on sale right now on Amazon, $4.99, guys.
Wow. Was that seamless or was that seamless?
I'm married to a shameless plug.
That's why
I'm
they
impressed.
call me Grubhub.
Now, Mimi, I know that you wrote this. So was that difficult to write, especially for yourself?
Oh no, I love doing things for myself. No, it's super fun to write because we just know each other so well, and we also have such a what? What?
We knew Mamrie was going to make characters that were slightly based on ourselves, and Hannah's story of reading the script the first time makes me laugh so hard because she thought Mamrie was writing a character that would be a real acting stretch for her.
Yeah, Hannah's character is very competitive and like gets really wound up at parties, and it's just like. And she was just like, "Oh my god, like thank you for this. This is really gonna help me grow as an actor." And me and Grace were like, "No." What? Like,
I don't think I realized it till like we were at the rap party and I was like, oh my god! Oh my god.
On set, halfway through, you played this game with everyone on the crew. Stop.
It's a great game. If you
Every
don't know
single
it.
day it was happening.
It was the best. Everybody liked it.
just what continuity wants, just a bunch of bruised actors.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think, you know, honestly, working with Grace and Mamrie is the best because we're friends, and I think because we're so secure in our friendships, it really actually enables us to just focus on the work. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know Mamrie we all do, we take it all very seriously, and Mamrie as like a producer and a writer on set, she's looking, she's watching, she's making sure everything's going. I don't need to like go and be like, hey Mamrie, I hope you still like me. No, we're all just friends, and we're secure in that.
And there's like a den of trust that we are allowed to go to the other one and say, was that okay? What do I need to do differently? Did that work? Did that make sense? Or be like, remember, you just did 10 push-ups in the scene right before this, so you're out of breath. Like, give each other these little nuggets that would otherwise kind of get looked over.
There were definitely moments where we had to look at each other and go, y'all, we're supposed to be like real drunk right now.
We're really drunk right now.
Because the
Maybe
last-
like 7 a.m. We're like, oh, okay.
Well, the last night we shot, it was this scene, if you guys have seen it, where we're toilet papering a house, and it was fucking freezing. So we were in coats and like Uggs, and I mean
that's
gloves,
just
right?
That's what I wear on a normal day.
I know.
Anyways.
And then as
Where
soon
did you shoot? Where was it so cold?
that was in Santa Clarita.
Which is just north of Los Angeles, but it's a desert area, so like during the day it's very hot, and during the night it was like 30 degrees, and Grace was wearing like a midriff top and stuff, and so it's funny because you'll see the scene, it looks like we're like shocked with fear, but no,
we're just clenching muscles, holding
just
on.
cold people.
Yeah.
How long was the shoot?
What was it?
17 days, 19 days?
Where's Jordan?
19 days with
19
Thanksgiving in between.
Yeah, which is also rough.
It's rough when you're in a crop top for the entire movie, and they need continuity, and it's one of my favorite holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving, Grace.
Yeah, so the rest of the shots are just tits up for the rest of the movie, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting an eating holiday in the
No.
middle of production.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Now, making a film is not easy, as everyone knows, but even though you all have such big fan bases, I think a lot of people assume that you just can walk into a room and get a movie made. But we all know that's not how it works in the industry. Were there any challenges with getting this off the ground?
I mean, honestly, like our biggest challenge, I think, was just getting it scheduled because the three of us, it was also in a time where there were like books coming out and things, and also it isn't Camp Dakota, that was much smaller, and we know we wanted our friends to be in it. So it was really just figuring out those little pockets of time.
Yeah, once we had Lionsgate as a partner, it was kind of smooth sailing in that regard from there, which was amazing. I mean, we've worked with other companies and studios and like that before, but I have never worked with a company as like kind of respectful and dutiful and excited as Lionsgate, and that's huge. There's a lot of people that want to I mean, this is South by, right? There's a lot of people that want to capitalize on digital influencers, etc. And they'll be like, okay, cool, just tweet about it, thanks. But Lionsgate was like active and involved. It was like, we're gonna throw an amazing party and we are gonna make these banners, and it's just like, it's nice, you know?
I remember the first time you see the like opening credits with the production companies and Lionsgate, it's like getting really, really excited. And then after we had our premiere party, I remember Gigi Gorgeous coming up to me and being like, I got chills. As soon as I saw the Lionsgate thing, I was covered in chills. I was like, you're also very skinny and you're wearing a tube top. And movie theaters are cold.
And then when we watched the trailer, they showed us the trailer, we were like in this conference room. It's exactly what you guys think it's like, you know what I mean? Like we were in a conference room in a big office, and we were like, ooh, you know? And they show us the trailer on the screen, and we were all like, and they're like, notes? And we were like, that was really cool.
Here's a thank you note.
Now, speaking of Lionsgate, I know that you two ladies have deals with Lionsgate now, which means you'll be producing and developing new content. Can you talk about, why you wanted to enter those deals, and then also maybe you can reveal some things you're working on?
Sure. I mean, I wanted. Everyone else hears that high-pitched ringing noise, right? Okay, cool.
We're all here with you.
Okay. Okay.
Or we find out she really is a Pekingese dog.
Yeah. That means low battery. I really wanted to enter into the deal with Lionsgate because they had been such an amazing partner on Dirty 30. It's kind of when you go on a blind date with someone and then you start dating more and you're like, when is the shoe gonna drop? When am I gonna see all the weird stuff about this person? And they were just so amazingly supportive, and the fact that they want to take digital creators and allow them to experience and build up all of the things that they might not otherwise get a chance to do in more traditional spaces is awesome. Plus, they were just so amazingly trusting in their creative freedom, which was almost a little weird that we were like, really? You were allowed to do whatever we want. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You know how nice it is to not have to like get copy pre-approved if you want to tweet something about the movie that you made and you're in?
Well, you know what's nice is not getting notes about the script you wrote.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one thing where they were like, can't have a real alpaca, and I was like,
Yeah.
you're
that was
fucking Lionsgate.
But we got one.
We
Eventually.
did get one.
Yeah. We stand our ground.
What are some of your goals with your deals? What are some projects that you'd like to dive into?
Well, I also have a Lionsgate deal because I saw that Grace had one, then I asked for one. More complicated than that, but effectively.
Well, then where's Food Network? I have something to ask them.
And I'm just gonna smile mischievously.
Cut to
Tweet at Food Network.
Mame relaunches her own studio. Mame And you have instead of like an MGM lion, it's
It's
just
just an alpaca. Or that, what is it, TriStar, like the Pegasus?
Take
we got it offline.
Or got
We got it. No, so yeah, I think that like, after working with Lionsgate and them being just very receptive, I expressed, probably in passing, just something that I had a frustration with as a viewer, you know, which is that it's really hard to make and sell an LGBT rom-com, you know? And it's like, there's plenty of like, blue is the warmest color. It's like, so you want to make like an art house film? No. Okay, so you want to make like a coming out story? No. Okay, so she ends up with a husband? No, none of that. I want to be like the Hugh Grant of rom-coms for lesbians.
Since the day I met you, and today it makes sense. I know. It's like, I'm Hugh Grant. I just think I'm Hugh Grant.
I just want to do it. And then Lionsgate came over and was like, remember all that stuff you were talking about? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, would you like to do that? And I was like, well, yes, obviously, but what? Okay. Do it. Yeah, so it'll happen. It's amazing.
So is anything in the works?
You give this bitch one sip of Grigio.
I know.
She's investigative reporter.
I'm trying to get some out of you.
No, she's getting her Andy Cohen on.
Let me just
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth, but I plead the fifth. Yeah. So basically,
I mean, she didn't say it.
yeah.
Now, since Grace brought up Food Network, which is one of my favorite channels, I'm obsessed, Hannah, can you tell us about your show?
Yes. I can tell you the following. This show, I can tell you this. I'm very proud of it. I've been going back and forth. You know, Food Network has also been an awesome partner in that we're both trying to make something that I think appeals to our communities. Like, Food Network has their interests and their focus. And like, this is what we want for our people. And I'm like, okay, but this is what I want for my people. And we found what I think is to be a very happy medium. So, I mean, it's television. You know, we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day,
If you had to describe your Food Network show in 3 words or 3 small phrases, what would it be?
You should host a podcast.
not too deep with Grace Helbig. Find it online. Those are my 3 words. Not too deep.
Deep fried.
Okay, it would be, food, travel, edutainment. No. I heard someone saying no.
Isn't it cool how I learned to throw my voice?
Just a gentle no.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought your 3rd word was going to be network, and I was going to, make
I
you
know.
a 4th one. Beat me to it. Okay, so when you guys started in your careers, which, what did you say, 2010?
2011 for me, but
2011?
Mamrie and Grace they've been working in entertainment for a while.
It was always, YouTube has been this beautiful, like, cool young friend that decided, that I could buy it alcohol. No, so it's always been the traditional, like, I went to school for acting, I got a theater and media production degree, and then moved to New York to, stay in school, guys. And moved to New York to be a serious actress before I started doing comedy, where I met Grace. So that was back in the day.
Yeah, and I actually started making videos professionally in 2008. Was my first job with a website making daily internet videos. So it's been a long time. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what I think this synergy has been in a lot of ways, is that both Mamrie and Grace and I bring different aspects of what effectively becomes like kind of the internet off platform, which is that they both have experience, they're both very talented, they're both super hardworking, and then I got really lucky with a viral video. So it just came together.
The Cinderella story.
It's gorgeous, I love it.
Well, from the time that you started, though, on YouTube, how do you think that the industry has changed? Which I know
Which
is
industry?
a huge question. The entertainment industry, because I think that at the time, 2008, 2010, let's say, a lot of important decision makers at, studios and networks kind of scoffed at that. And they said, oh, digital videos, this is going to be nothing. And the millennials, they knew that it was going to be something, and now it's huge.
Yeah, I experienced a lot of embarrassment when I first started making YouTube videos. I was, performing comedy weekly in New York, and I didn't even tell the people that were on my improv team.
I remember watching, some other video or something online and you coming up in like a banner, like ad, or a pre-roll, and me being like, that bitch is on my sketch team. What is this show she has? And be like, so you're doing a show? She's like, yeah. It got me to quit my waitressing job.
And most of the reason, I was still going on auditions for TV and film at the time because I thought that was what people took seriously, even though I really liked being able to be at home by myself making my own content with no one telling me no, and really hated going into auditioning rooms with someone that immediately told me no. So it's changed so much. I think there's a lot more openness from traditional media to content creators, obviously because we in our community have proven how influential great ideas and great people can be. And with that, the community itself has changed because now it is something people can figure out how to do. There was a time, I think when we came together, there was a feeling of, we have no idea what we're doing, we're just trying, and everyone around us is just excited to experiment with something. And now experiments have results, so people are trying to just kind of get those same results and figure out ways to do so. So it's interesting times.
I think that it is interesting times, and one of the beautiful ways I think the industry has changed is that, here you have someone like Grace, who, and you're in the traditional realm years ago, it's like, oh, like this is like a beautiful girl, like, okay, we'll get her to do like this role, or like blank blank, but also, like, Grace is really funny and really smart. Like, every time Grace edits anything, I'm always like, this is hilarious, dude, I suck. But like, you're very, very funny, but there's this kind of singularity, or this kind of like only single-facetedness of entertainment that I think is kind of melting away, where you can recognize people for being more kind of like holistic selves. Like, we all used to. With Jennifer Lawrence, right? Everybody was like, we love her because she's so authentic, until she said that terrible thing. Like, this took a turn. Maybe say something funny. I think it's like you build these brands. I remember going in on auditions constantly for sexy wife, or like,
and mine was like weird odd neighbor.
And mine was like Ellen.
Mine would be like coming out of the bushes with binoculars and be like, and then it's Grace in the window in a bra.
And then Grace is like a person who's like puts the least sexiness out there.
And like, hello.
Yeah. Oh,
role reversal.
Yeah, the space allowed you to create your brand based on what you felt authentic to, and now I think the traditional space is recognizing that and understanding that only by really lifting up the brands that we've already created will there be any great source of collaboration.
Well, now they're trusting that people want to see your authentic self and who you are, rather than constantly playing outside of it.
yeah, exactly. It's like, because of you guys and your support, it's like traditional has to do a broader version of storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important. Like, I think that we all feel very privileged and very lucky to be the focal point of messages that our communities are sending, which is like, we're supporting these people because we like them. And then traditional's like, you like them? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was the most interesting thing because like we became friends and we started collaborating, and that's how we hung out, was making videos together, and the feedback was like, oh, we love your friendship, that sort of thing. So when we started making longer form narratives, we really wanted to focus on what real female friendship looks like, or just real friendship in general, without necessarily having to be so gender compartmentalized.
Exactly, like we're very like driven people, but I think sometimes that people blur the line between drive and competitiveness, and we're very much like, when one of us does well, we're all doing well because we're peers and we want to work together. So taking that out of the storyline, which I think, especially women in Hollywood, I mean, like, this has been said a million times, but women are pitted against each other constantly, and that's not how women, or women I want to be around, actually operate.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like a lot of the way society is structured is that you look to who you're pitted against instead of the person who put you in the pit. You're like, oh, I gotta get them. Definitely not pitmaster. Fellow person in this pit.
Is this your Mad Max remake?
I'm a baby. I don't know. The baby, the thing.
Oh, the thing.
I don't know.
Well, aside from putting, messaging of all friendships, but female friendships and support on the screen. Also, behind the screen, there's a lot of talk about not enough female directors, not enough female writers. And I mean, you wrote this, but you're all content creators. So is that something that you really feel like you're trying to push forward?
Oh, if I could clone myself, and you could walk onto a set and I could
no
do
reason
everything.
other than just cloning yourself.
I want to put on every hat. I want to try all the things, and I think it's really important for women, especially. I feel like there are no better directors than directors who've acted, because you understand how you want to be directed, etc. So I feel like we keep chipping away and being able to check boxes of we've acted now, and I've written a movie and produced, but learning the different assets.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times we're looking at, we look at direction, or we look at the films we watch, and we're looking at them inadvertently through like a male lens, right? And so I know that as somebody who, is a raging lesbian, it's very frustrating because it's like you're watching these.
Oh, that Lost Disney World ride.
I know. But like, you're looking at something, and you're like, that's not at all what it's like. Specifically like sex. And I'm like, this is absurd. But like that's why you need more female directors. I also think the same thing happens with like straight directors, where you have like, two people against like a craggy rock on a beach, and the woman's like, this is the best sex of my life. And every woman in the audience is being like,
Sand.
ow, 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 ow. Right, that's a great actress.
What you're talking about, Joe Soloway, the creator of Transparent, she's kind of coined that, the male gaze, and I've spoken with her a lot about that, and I agree, and it's got to change. We need more female directors.
We need more female directors, and I also think, I just would like to say this in terms of the balancing act, is that the male gaze is worthy of being here. It's just about changing it so that it's fair. You know what I mean? It's
finding
like
the balance.
It's
like
just about balance.
We need to be able to just see hot men for no reason.
Getting fucked against a rock.
Now, of course, the three of you, you've always been very honest and very open with your viewers and with your fan bases. Now, especially given the political climate, do you feel pressure to kind of make a statement and be out there and use your platform?
Honestly, I feel kind of the opposite of that, in that I feel sometimes pressured to not make a statement, because you can very quickly toe the line of comedy and then going too far and then being viewed as someone who's too political, etc. So I feel like in the political climate, I have a lot of opinions, but cherry picking the ones that I think matter the most, so that way I'm not put into a box of being too serious, and then people don't enjoy just the straight silly stuff.
Sure, yeah, I think it's the same in a way that it's finding a balance. And also, I feel like the thing for my, quote, brand and the audience is that it's always been this kind of you're learning with me as I'm trying to figure it out, and this political climate I'm trying to figure out how to navigate, and so want to speak in ways in which I think could be helpful to someone else that's also on the same level that I am and might share the same kind of viewpoint that I do, without being too soapboxy or without being too not understanding of other sides and other views and other scenarios.
Yeah, I'm excited because I've seen people participate and be more vocal politically now than ever before, which, as Mamrie pointed to, you don't want to be in a box. As Grace pointed to, you're learning and you're growing. And I hope that people recognize that even though we're entertainers, we're all still in the same generation. And so I would love to believe that this generation is going to become more politically involved than we ever have been before. I voted in the LA municipal elections for the first time, and there's 13 million people, something like that live in LA, and like 200,000 people voted. The lowest rate.
It was the lowest rate ever, but it was such significant measures on the ballot that it literally was talking about billion-dollar funding to get homelessness resolved by providing more housing. And it's something that affects everybody every day. You can't go a day in LA without seeing a person who's on the streets. And it's crucial. And I don't even know what percentage of that is voted. And I've never voted in a municipal election before until this year.
Yeah.
And so I just hope that other people feel the same way and want to start participating more.
But it's choosing your battles in the same way, like we're not going to make a political, I'm not like furiously writing political movie. However, wanting to work on things that just show extremely strong females. So it's like you don't have to be able to do it all, but just, you know, making sure that you're representing yourself in the correct way.
Conscious as citizens, I guess.
I mean, not gonna get on a soapbox. I hate soap.
She hates soap. She's very unbalanced. So I would like to point out, though, if you go to my Twitter, my pinned tweet is about midterm elections, which is 2018, November 6th.
Oh, yeah.
So register to vote. You know what I can see you doing? No. Lost.
Can you subtitle what you just said?
You know what I could see you later in life running for office.
Honestly, I
Is that
have
your
a really
political wave?
Like you go to the White House more than you come to my house.
I enjoy the freedoms of being a citizen, which is that I can say things like, oh my God, everybody, fuck what's happening right now. So 2018 though, please vote.
Talking about future goals, right? Just saying. All right, so on a lighter note, you guys are kind of the experts at all things digital and social media, but there's so much out there. Do you find social media overwhelming at all?
All I know is I feel like I'm cheating on Snapchat with Insta Story right now.
Yeah, I'm in a deep turmoil about all of it.
All I know is that both of them run ads that we don't get any portion of. If you are looking at Insta Story and Snapchat, they run ads in between videos.
Yeah.
That's nobody gets that. That's just ads.
Is there like a Snapchat lounge that we can go fuck up?
I'm just saying it's weird.
But to answer your question, yes, I would say I do get overwhelmed on social media because there is so much and it's constantly expanding. And for me personally, I really want to make every social media platform that you might want or not want to follow me on feel different, but still feel cohesive. And sometimes it gets really exhausting to do that because sometimes I have really boring ass days and there's nothing to actually post about it. It gets sad when you're like, oh, I have an Instagram. Goose, sit. Look at this. Look. Oh, all right, that's the best we're gonna get today.
There were like 3 days in a row where I realized I only Snapchatted from bed. And I was just like, if someone only follows me there, they think I'm like the grandparents from Willy Wonka.
They have very specific taste. I think honestly, in terms of feeling overwhelmed, it's only when I go on YouTube and I see like how well people are doing.
We're not good at clickbaiting, is what I have realized.
I try.
I know you do.
I try. I try hard. It doesn't work. But no, I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, the space is so constantly evolving. And I guess I get to feel in the position, the creators I met in 2011 who had been doing it since 2006, I'm starting to understand how they felt in those moments. And the good news is that you can just diversify and you're growing bigger and better. We've always had goals that, you know, include YouTube as a part of it, obviously, because we want to stay connected, but also include making bigger statements.
Now, before we jump into audience questions, in just a minute, let's just go down the line and talk about your future goals and some things that you want to accomplish in your careers.
How close do you think they are to getting?
Remember, your ride's here.
I think, no, housekeeping actually went into my hotel room. Oh my God. Future goals. Obviously, we have a couple things in the works with Lionsgate right now. Mabry and I have a project with them that we're working on that's really exciting. There's a couple other projects going on, and I'm just going to work on being just as vague as I can in the future days.
I'll continue the vague train because you have actual shit.
We're under this tent. They'll never find us.
Hopefully it's a cop car full of T-Rexes.
Wait a
Everyone
minute.
be really still.
Is that what all these lights are pointed at us?
Same. I'm working on some really cool shit. Honestly, I feel like I have a treasure chest of fun stuff, and I'm just like sitting on it, trying to keep it in there, because there's a lot of fun things that will come into fruition and into being announced soon. But for right now, I'm that bitch on the panel.
Oh, I mean, and that's the thing, is that like sometimes you have stuff that's right around the corner and you just can't talk about it yet. That's when it's the hardest. But anyway, I really hope that this show I'm doing with Food Network, you know, there's only 6 episodes. It'll be out later this year, and I hope that it is I hope that people like it. I like it. I'm proud of it. So if nobody watches it, it's okay. But please watch it. But I'm just saying that I feel proud of every episode, and that feels good.
And also, Dirty 30 is available for $4.99 on Amazon right now.
And also, Not Too Deep podcast. And
Also, we have some inner working stuff that we've been talking through that might be really fun.
There might we sometimes don't.
So we're speaking another language.
No. We've started trying to collaborate more on our YouTube channels and like.
We forget that we see each other in life so often that we're like, why don't we just make videos?
Why don't we
more
put
together?
turn a camera on? Because people are like, oh my god, I miss you guys so much. And it's like, we got lunch and dinner together yesterday. On International Women's Day on Wednesday, we celebrated They Came Over. I made a beautiful spread. And then we went and got our palms read, and then we went and got margaritas. And so according to Ginger on Hollywood Boulevard, we've got some great career stuff coming up.
Now, to be fair, and you pointed this out, that she had a real advantage of, whoever's coming in at like 3 p.m. on a Wednesday probably works in entertainment.
So are you creative? And I'm like, how can you tell? I have a buzz at 2 and I'm getting my palm read on a Wednesday.
She was great.
Getting your palm read is the craziest thing. One of
My hands are so
friends here-
sweaty.
One of my friends here brought me to do it on my birthday, and I encourage everyone to do it. It is crazy. It's like fun.
Ginger was
It's
like,
crazy.
so, lots of hand jobs, huh?
And then Mary was like, you're offering? No, just kidding.
Well, moving away from that, I'm not sure logistically how we're doing this, but audience questions. How are we doing this with the mic? We're just lining up.
I mean,
All right. How about you guys just raise your hands and I'll call you and you can scream.
yeah, we can repeat it.
Yeah, we love people yelling at us.
I have one too. First one's really quick. Name your house beats.
Oh my god, she's just a stinky tortilla alien biscuit. Love her.
And also, Hannah, there's obviously a lot of gay women here. How is it traveling the U.S. and being a queer woman? Do you ever have any kind of bad experience with that?
Oh, you know
We
what?
can repeat it.
I can repeat. We're good. What?
Okay, cool.
The question is, how is it being a queer woman traveling the U.S. and do I have any experiences with that? And the answer is, every time I feel like I'm outside of a coastal city or a coastal state, I do feel like, wow, I am so lucky and so privileged to be where I've been born. Because for me, coming out, the hardest thing I had to overcome was myself. You know, I grew up in the Bay Area. People were like, there's the GSA and we love gay people. And I was the one like, ew. And then I have layovers in certain cities in this country, and I feel uncomfortable for the first time in a long time. I remember I had a layover post-election in Atlanta or something like that, and I had my hat on, and I was or I might have my hair all the way up, and it's kind of one of those things where people say "sir," and I'm like, "What?" Which is hilarious to me because I am not a sir. And then you're like, no, and then you feel uncomfortable for the first time in a really long time. So to answer your question, yes, I've had experiences. My takeaway from it is that I can never forget what the experience is like for people who aren't me. And so every time, we talk about come out, be your best brave self, yay. I've talked about this with Tyler, and what it is when you are physically safe, it's okay to come out when you're ready. If you're not in an environment you feel safe in, you're not doing anything wrong. You have an online community you can be with, but you don't have to endanger your life. Because there are places in this country where your life is still in danger. So until you so that's the thing. I just have so much respect for people who experience things that are so much harder than me. And that's all I can do is be humbled by it.
Good answer.
Hello. My question is, me and my wife, who's inside because she had a panic attack because she hates crowds.
Well, not
Grace.
You guys are great. You guys are good.
Wait, her name's
Don't
Grace?
go- Yeah.
We're not married.
No, I know.
You just described me to a T.
But my question is to Grace. You have Goose, who is, slightly
A murder dog, yes.
We just adopted a dog about a week ago who's slightly aggressive. She's a Shih Tzu, so she's very small, not like Grace. But how do you deal with that when people come around? And...
She went to 3 months of training, boarding for 3 straight months, which helped a lot in the aggression. It helped me understand, some triggers that she has. I still don't know a lot of them because I wasn't there for the first year of her life with the family that had been raising her. And it's really just about knowing the boundaries and understanding, setting up systems for yourself with the dog. If you're like, I know that during the daytime, my dog can be around other people, but when nighttime comes and they get tired, it's really just making sure that you take responsibility and you put the dog away, and you know that, like, even if it whines, it's better than, like, a friend crying because she ripped their arm off. Because you thought she'd be fine tonight. So it's really, and then just like re-encouraging those systems over and over, because dogs work best with, just like, structure and, the same kind of plan put in place over and over and over. Because at the end of the day, they're dogs, they're dummies. I mean, they're really smart, but they're real dumb too. So the more that you can reinforce like consistency in how you discipline the dog. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. But honestly, fair warning, we show only some of the good things that happen, and there's a lot of bad things that happen. And people always ask me, like, your dog's not that bad. I'm like, I don't film and post the bad stuff that happens.
Also, that seems like one big analogy for YouTube success. Like, we're just a bunch of dummies, but just consistency and knowing not what to put on camera.
I was really just me talking to myself in metaphors about how I need to like, get my channel together. God damn it.
Hi, we have a question in the
But
back.
good luck.
Hi, I'm studying to be an engineer, so I have to deal with a lot of sexism, like every day. There's usually like 2 girls in my class. How do you guys navigate that? How do you deal with, not taking it personally, or how do you, deal with it?
Well, they're the weaker sex.
Lower pain tolerance.
No, I mean, I think a lot of it is just putting on blinders. And like, first of all, fuck yeah, you're gonna be an engineer. That's incredible. Love your gap teeth. But a lot of it is just like, people are only, the same old thing. People are only going to talk down to you because they're insecure about themselves.
It's having, some sense of compassion for it's not you, it's them. That whatever they're projecting onto you is because they were raised a certain way or fear certain things that don't allow them to see you as a human being. And it's like being the bigger person, it sucks sometimes and it like hurts and it's painful. Trust me, we've had years of people pointing out every possible thing that's wrong with every possible part of our being and our choices online. And it's eventually, you get to a point where it just becomes, to me, it's become comical and like sad in a way, because you know that person's having, unfortunately, not a full life. And you can't change that for them. They have to figure that out for themselves.
I think +1+1, everything they've said, and then forgiving yourself in the moments where you maybe feel like you step back. Like, I remember the other day, this happened to me recently. I was playing a game, and there were like 3 guys or 4 guys and 2 girls on my team, and there was a question asked, and the girl next to me, I knew the answer, and I was like, you should say it. You know the answer. And like, you should go, say it. And then like, she looked to all the guys on our team, and this guy is like, I'll go. And all the guys are like, yeah. And then we lost, But like, in my head, to me, myself, I was like, I should have just been like, no, just go. Like, nobody else talk, sorry. She knows the answer for sure. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like one of those things where I felt so bad, because I definitely 100% let patriarchy just kind of be like, or maybe not,
Just use it as hater fuel and know that if you focus on your own shit, there's one day that you're not going to hire him.
Tweet it! All right, guys, I hate to do this, but we're actually out of time, and I don't think we can end on a better note than that either. So thank you so much.
Also, just FYI, the middle of the seat was wet. I did not piss my back.